The Trump administration whistleblower story is fascinating for so many reasons. But I will tell you right now that if you think this story ends with President Trump being removed from office, you're delusional. But in this commentary, I want to talk about why, Trump's motivation, and how it could affect the 2020 election. But first, a little background. The whistleblower filed a complaint with the Inspector General's office alleging that during a phone call, Donald Trump threatened the president of the Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, saying that he would withhold billions of dollars in U.S. foreign aid from the Ukraine unless that country investigated current presidential hopeful Joe Biden and to see if he abused his office back in 2016 when he was vice president by helping his son Hunter secure a contract with the Ukrainian government for a gas company that Hunter was working with. Now, Trump admits that he talked to the president of the Ukraine about Biden, but says he didn't threaten anything.
I hope you get to see the call, because your question, you will see, I did not ask for, I did not make a statement that you have to do this or I'm not going to give you aid. I wouldn't do that.
And yet, foreign aid to the Ukraine is scheduled to be held back. Trump says that has nothing to do with the phone call. He says the United States shouldn't be the only ones giving the Ukraine money, and so he's withholding funds until the European countries pony up too. At the very least, the timing looks bad. But let's get to the politics. Why did President Trump bring up Joe Biden's name, of all people, with the president of the Ukraine during a phone call? The answer is simple: politics. Internal polling in the Trump campaign shows that Joe Biden by far has the best chance of defeating Donald Trump than any of the Democratic candidates. And that is absolutely true. And it reminds me of a story Joe Biden tells about when he knew that Donald Trump was going to win the presidency back in 2016. It was after watching one of Donald Trump's packed and passionate 2016 campaign rallies right near where Joe Biden grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Biden says that he looked at the crowd and he saw middle-class white men, many of them former steel workers, and he said out loud, "Those are our people." To be more precise, they're Biden's people. Joe Biden, a moderate who appeals to the middle class, could help win back those former Democratic voters in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Wisconsin, and Michigan, states that propelled Donald Trump to victory. And Biden, because he was Barack Obama's vice president, polls well with African-American voters too. Those voters showed up in mass in 2008 and 2012 for Barack Obama, but they weren't inspired by Hillary Clinton and stayed home in 2016. There's no secret that Donald Trump would much rather run against Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders or one of the other more liberal candidates. The Trump campaign believes he can beat them easily by painting them as socialist and dangerous. Look, the controversy surrounding Hunter Biden was reported by several news outlets back in 2016, but has not been brought up by any of the current Democratic presidential candidates. If Donald Trump was trying to get people to talk about the alleged scandal, he has certainly done that, and now he is free to talk about it himself. And he's certainly done that a lot.
Joe Biden is the one that did a very, very bad thing when he said that. And I think it was $1.2 billion he wasn't going to give unless they got rid of a prosecutor who was investigating his son.
The Russians may not have used the Trump campaign to influence the 2016 election, but the Trump campaign is definitely using the Ukraine to influence the 2020 election. You may remember from an earlier commentary that I spoke to people who were close to the Bidens in Delaware, and they told me the only thing that was holding Joe Biden back months ago from running for president was he was afraid that Hunter would come under attack. And now his greatest fear has come true. This all may seem like dirty politics, but in truth, the Hunter Biden story has been out there for some time and is fair game. Donald Trump just dropped it like a bomb in the middle of the public debate in a way that cannot be ignored. We'll just have to wait and see which side suffers the most damage, Trump or Biden, now that that bomb has been detonated. I'm Larry Mendte. We'll talk again soon.